people can't stand them because even though I sued Alex Jones for defamation, I'm now going to take his blue-haired SJW stereotype and weaponize that.
Yeah, she's evil. Okay, let's see.
I don't think it's evilness. I don't think it's evilness, but I do think that
no, anybody who condones the murder of children is evil. Trust me.
I think she's a real rhetorician, and that's why she's being very strategic, and she's literally weaponizing things that should be good for the left.
She's calling people who are against the murder of children jihadists or whatever it is. She's using these words that they give them, like the Zionists give them to you to scare away Americans.
Yeah, the Hasbara handbook.
The Hasbara handbook. There's a nice podcast called Bad Hasbara with Matt Leib. You would probably like it.
Trust assholes with power. I'm sorry, it's just the truth.
And you said at the start of this conversation something that I found very interesting. You basically said that you had reservations about things that had happened before October 7th. What were those things that you shut your mouth over? And the second part of that question is, do you regret it now, seeing what it's become?
I definitely do. So let me give you a really specific example. When I was running for Congress in 2018, right, you had the Women's March, and you had elements of the Women's March that were out there with this pro-Palestine, anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic nonsense. Very anti-Israel and veering into the most anti-Semitic language that you could possibly have. That was wrong. I made the decision to keep my mouth shut, which was a tremendous error in judgment. And because people like me shut up in those years, it kept getting worse. And those seeds kept growing, and now it's basically taken over the entire progressive movement. I don't know if it can be saved in time. And you can go into any number of issues, like self-ID with trans people, or
by the way,
I remember during Gamergate, there was this
progressives are now pro-Palestine because Brianna Wu didn't speak out. The entire course of history was changed because Brianna Wu's decisions.
Yeah, she's an idiot.
She's definitely clueless. Like, so far, she has not made any policies. I'm starting to think she doesn't know what policy is, because every time I've heard her come to her be prompted to make a policy, she makes some gesture about like what would be nice to happen. And admittedly, I've done that before without realizing what I'm doing. But she doesn't seem to understand how policy prescriptions lead to material change at all. And yet she's trying to get people in office and all this stuff.
To talk about the number of women we were.
By the way, I think are you playing something over the speaker? I can hear some background audio, I think.
No, somebody's doing their lawn. I live in the suburbs, so some idiot decided to do the lawn when I'm recording. That's probably my wife.
My bad.
No, it's all right. Outside, see how loud it is? You hear it, eh?
Only a little bit. It's just a little bit of background audio, and I wasn't sure if it was like you were watching another video at the same time or something.
No. This is a lawn, I think. And the kids are knocking. I got a lot of kids. I got 6 kids. Okay, hold on.
Whiteness as something that we were featuring in games. And I'm like, it's a little bit extreme, but we'll go along with it. So it was just one more step after another. And now it's 10 years later. Look at where we are. We are completely unelectable. This strategy is failing.
I suppose the question that I'm curious about, and I hear people on left and right saying this often, and I don't understand why they say it. So and you did say it, so I'm curious to explore this. You called the culture war nonsense.
It is.
Well, you say it is, and I suppose it depends. What exactly do you mean by that, first of all, before I jump in with my opinion?
We have different jobs, right? You are a public advocate and a public figure, and you have a very specific agenda that is pro-free speech, one I agree with. But my job is different. My job is public policy. My job is to get candidates elected, and my job is to back channel specific bills to get them passed.
Right.
So in my view, as soon as you get something like family medical leave and you turn it into a right versus left culture war, you have automatically lost the conversation.
No, I agree with you about it. I guess the reason I ask you, Bran, is that the way I see what's going on, and I'll lay it out for you the way that I see it, and you feel free to pick away at it, challenge, whatever, is here's my conception of the culture war as it happens. I feel that there is a determined, organized attempt to undermine the basic building blocks of our civilization.
Yes.
And those of us who are willing to A, see that, and B,
Yes.
say something about it, are called culture warriors. That's what people say about me, for example. Oh, he's just a culture warrior. And my view is, our culture is really important.
I
Our
agree.
culture is why we are where we are. Our culture is why we're successful. Our culture is why our civilization is
this is
rich and
just like
powerful and dominant
incredibly
around the
ironic
world.
from
Sure.
her.
Because of
Uh-huh.
our culture.
Yeah.
This is
So
just incredibly
if
ironic
people
from
on
her,
the-
considering that she's definitely trying to have a culture war within the online political discussion space.
Yeah.
And I think what she's doing is she's trying to create like, us versus them with
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
we're doing real politics because we're getting people to Pokemon go to the polls while they're just, they're just commentating or they're just doing whatever. They're just doing culture war. And that's her way of creating a waste bin that she can throw people in. But if you examine any of her actions online and the way she talks about online stuff, like, oh, I joined and the culture wasn't the way I wanted it to be, and I kept my mouth shut for too long, and then the culture blew out of control. She's just like a right winger who's mad at culture wars while she's the one fighting them.
Yeah, I left I didn't leave the left left me. That's what she's trying to say. The same fucking formula that Dave Rubin is doing, that did the same thing as Walmart is in the process. Russell Brand is left. All of a sudden he's religious. He was atheist. All this stuff is all garbage. And
Yeah,
even
which group of audience has the deepest pockets, right?
You're right. That's where the money is. They make a lot of money. The right wing channels, they make a lot of money because I'm going to tell you a long time ago I had a different channel and I had Hake. Hake was like was banned from YouTube and I gave him a chance.
Yeah.
You know Hake, right?
Yeah, I know about him.
They came. I had like 700 viewers from his side, and they were all, thank you, you're the best, Omar, thank you. I was like, God, these people have a loyal base, loyal base, that they're willing to play with my head, that they like me because I gave an opportunity one of theirs to talk on YouTube, because he was not allowed at all. Now he's back. But the whole idea is that that's where the money is.
And
Jimmy
leftists.
Dore, look at Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore is good, but he's good on Palestine. But he just took that vaccine stuff and all that stuff and just went and ran with it. And he accumulated this almost right wing audience, where he attacks the left, he attacks that, but he never attacks Trump. And you'll have 6,000-7,000 people watching him live, more than the Young Turks sometimes. You understand? Yeah. This is
leftists like this lines up totally with her rhetoric. Leftists are not where the money is at. We're not focused on maximizing our profits or making getting like the largest audience as possible. We have an agenda. We have a political agenda, by the way, not just a cultural agenda, and we're here to advocate for it. Now, and notice how she's pretending like she respects advocates here, right? Well, as soon as they're far leftist, that goes right out the window, no matter how good they are. No matter how respectable they are. The closest I've seen her get is Ben Burgess, and honestly, Ben Burgess is pretty moderate.
Yeah.
He's good on some things, but he's pretty moderate in general.
Yeah, I guess so.
Progressive left, and it is people on the progressive left. There are some on the right now too, in response, I think.
The problem with this is both three agree on everything. She's trying to please them to look good, and she's looking for a new audience, like you said.